For more than 2 centuries, Oak Island has captivated treasure hunters worldwide with its mystifying secrets. The Lagina brothers are boldly venturing into its depths in pursuit of the elusive treasure. While some have caught fleeting glimpses of gold and artifacts, a recent discovery promises a potential breakthrough. Renowned podcaster Joe Rogan has unveiled evidence that could revolutionize the quest. What revelations has he shared, and how do they shed light on this enduring mystery? Join us as we delve into Joe Rogan's latest insights into the secrets of Oak Island.
There's one island that has like this crazy hole in the ground that was made by pirates. There's a television show about it. You know what I'm talking about?
The Curse of Oak Island.
And they have some crazy hole in the ground that they're trying to figure out how to get into, but there's all these weird little
booby traps and all this crazy stuff.
Mystery of the Oak Island treasure. The Atlantic Ocean is more than just a large body of water. It carries tales long buried, never to be found. But some have traveled across seas with curious minds, following in curiosity or greed. In the big Atlantic Ocean lies a tiny, special place called Oak Island, tucked away off the shores of Nova Scotia, Canada. But don't be tricked by its small size, because this island has a very interesting secret that has confused and interested adventurers for many years. The story goes that buried somewhere under the rough land lies a treasure beyond imagination. They say it's full of riches and old, important things. Some people think the lost writings of Shakespeare are there, while others believe it's the stash of the famous pirate, Captain Kidd, who hid his stolen goods on faraway lands. The promise of huge wealth has attracted many people, explorers from everywhere who've risked their money and even their lives chasing this hard-to-find prize. But even with all their hard work, the treasure stays hidden, covered in mystery, and guarded by a maze of clever traps made to stop even the most determined searchers. Yet, the fascination with Oak Island continues, calling out to those brave enough to dive into its depths and uncover the secrets hidden in its old dirt. On this mysterious island, the hope of riches and fame waits for those ready to risk everything in the search for the best prize. Then the treasure tale. How did this rave for hidden treasure begin? A rumor or something found? The story of Oak Island started in 1795 when a young boy named Daniel McGinnis with his friends explored the island. While walking, Daniel saw a strange hole in the ground that looked like a perfect circle. Interested in stories about hidden treasures told by locals, Daniel got very excited. Ignoring warnings about possible dangers, he decided to solve the mystery of the strange hole. They went on an adventure with his friends, driven by their curiosity. Looking closer, they found flat stones buried under the ground, just 2 feet deep. Finding this made them hopeful that there might be a hidden treasure. Not scared by the big task ahead, they kept digging deeper, hoping to find lots of money. But as they dug more, they found something unexpected. Marks on the walls, made by old tools, showing that others had dug there before them. They realized they weren't the first ones looking for treasure on Oak Island. With its faraway and lonely land, Oak Island seemed like an odd place for such a big search. But the hole they found hinted at a hidden history. People wondered who had dug there before and why. Daniel and his friends kept searching despite the mysteries, hoping to find Captain Kidd's famous treasure. Every day, they got more determined, wanting to find the hidden riches. Finally, they dug a big hole, 10 meters deep, like a tall building in the wild. But even with all their hard work, they couldn't find the treasure. They ended up with nothing. As news of their discovery spread, many treasure hunters worldwide came to Oak Island. The story of the money pit fascinated adventurers and people wanting to get rich, bringing them to the island to look for treasure. But they didn't know that clever traps protected the treasure to stop intruders and keep its secrets safe. Without knowing it, the brave explorers faced not just the chance of getting rich, but also danger and mystery. With each new attempt to find the treasure, Oak Island's mysteries grew, leaving many questions unanswered. But one thing was sure, the story of Oak Island wasn't finished yet, and its secrets waited for those brave enough to look for them. The Enlo Company's quest. The Enlo Group dares to find Oak Island's hidden wealth. Join them as they face a dangerous decision: treasure or escape. In 1806, a brave group called the Enlo Company came to Oak Island, excited about finding hidden riches. They had pickaxes and shovels and were ready to find treasure in the money pit, a secret hole. As they dug deeper, they found obstacles like oak logs every 10 feet and strange things like putty, charcoal, and coconut fiber. It seemed like someone wanted to hide what was underneath. But the Enlo company didn't give up. They kept going, even when they found a stone tablet about 90 feet down with strange writing. Then, water started flooding in, and they couldn't stop it. They tried to fight the water, but it was too strong. They realized it was a trap, but they couldn't do anything about it. Every time the tide came in, more water filled the tunnel, making it impossible to get the treasure. They had to give up and leave Oak Island. They took the stone tablet with them, a reminder of their adventure and the hidden secrets. The stone tablet's secret. A puzzling stone tablet stands as the key to incredible riches. With 6 lives already lost to its grip, the race for fortune is balanced on the edge of danger. Will greed win over caution, or will the island's curse take its final victims? After the Onslow Company left, a strange stone tablet stayed, confusing minds for years. Its mysterious symbols puzzled people, until a teacher from Halifax solved its secrets. A surprising discovery appeared. The writing hinted at where the treasure was hidden. It discussed money buried deep, 40 feet down, 2,000 pounds buried. The wealth seemed close, but water was a big problem. However, the story of Oak Island's treasure must still be finished. The story set a sad condition. 7 people must die before the treasure shows its true self. 6 had already died looking for riches. Doubters laughed, but the attraction continued, pushing eager seekers ahead in their search for unknown wealth. Theories and speculations on the intriguing island. One has stood out amid stories of valuable things from history. The Freemasons' hidden history, carved into the island's center. Join the search, where the attraction of what's unknown might unlock the answer to unbelievable riches, or something bad. Deep inside the interesting charm of Oak Island lies a treasure trove of stories and puzzles, each woven into the history of its famous past. From the whispers of lost papers belonging to the well-known William Shakespeare, or the hard-to-find Francis Bacon, talked about members of a secret group, to the exciting stories of Marie Antoinette's shiny stones, hidden away during the chaos of the French Revolution. The island's secrets call to explorers and dreamers alike. But, among the mix of guesses, one idea stands out, a sign of the lasting charm of secret groups and hidden treasures. With their strange symbols carved into the island's land, the Freemasons offer an exciting peek into a world of mystery and interest. From whispers of connections to the Knights Templar to thoughts about the famous Holy Grail, the Freemason idea captures the imagination, promising unknown wealth and old secrets buried under Oak Island's top layer. In 1849, a bold trip from Toronto stepped onto Oak Island's shores, their hearts full of hope for adventure and riches. Armed with strong will and determination, they tried to solve the island's mysteries, following those who came before them. The Toronto team tried to dig up pits that had been dug before, hoping to find the tricky treasure, but they couldn't do it because the pits filled with water again, leaving them sad. Not giving up, the Toronto team noticed something strange about the water filling the pits. It was a little salty and seemed to move with the tide. Seeing this as a hint, they searched the island and found the start of a narrow path leading underground. This path, later named Smith's Cove, was part of a complicated flood system to protect the treasure from strangers. This finding started a series of challenges for the treasure hunters. Even though they tried hard, the tricky flood system needed to be faster to beat. The Toronto team's attempts to get close to the pit from different sides were met with floods and sudden falls, making them give up on their hunt for the treasure and leave Oak Island. But the charm of Oak Island kept going. Over time, many trips, looks, and TV shows followed the steps of the Toronto group, each hoping to unlock the island's secrets. Some used new tech like metal finders, sonar, and radar to help, but it didn't work. The mystery of Oak Island also got the attention of many well-known and powerful people, like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Errol Flynn, and John Wayne, who either participated in or supported the treasure hunt. But behind the charm of riches is a darker truth. Going deep into the island's mysteries, Joe Rogan says that Oak Island might be more than just a place with lots of money. It might be a trick to bring treasure hunters to their end. Stories of ghosts and spooky sights add a scary layer to the island's past. showing bad powers might be at play. So the mystery of Oak Island keeps going, with its secrets hidden under layers of interest and guessing. As new trips try to find answers, the legend lives on, showing the lasting charm of the unknown. And even if Oak Island's treasure remains hard to find, its story still attracts the interest of adventurers and dreamers everywhere. The Curse of Oak Island. Follow the two brothers whose fate was changed by a chance meeting with an article that sparked a strong interest. Join them in their daring adventures, where every unexpected event reveals a new part of the old mystery. Oak Island's mysterious charm has fascinated both treasure hunters and storytellers. Its puzzling appeal hasn't gone unnoticed by the entertainment world, attracting attention from TV shows, books, and media outlets. One popular series, The Curse of Oak Island, shown on the History Channel, has become a favorite for many. It tells the exciting adventures of a group of explorers dedicated to uncovering the island's secrets and finding its hidden treasure. Since it first aired in 2014, the show has gained a large following, with millions of devoted fans eagerly watching. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, are at the heart of its appeal, and their interest in Oak Island returns to their childhood. Their journey began with a lucky find, a captivating article in Reader's Digest from 1965 telling the island's story and the determined efforts of past adventurers. The article sparked a lifelong passion for Rick, fueling his dreams of going on a big adventure to uncover Oak Island's hidden treasures. With strong determination, he convinced his brother Marty, an experienced engineer and successful businessman, to join him in the search for this elusive treasure. In 2006, the brothers took a huge risk by buying a controlling stake in the island and starting their incredible journey. Top treasures in Oak Island. Oak Island is a story of hard-to-find treasures and puzzling history. Come along on the search, where every dig reveals secrets and offers of great luck, hidden in the darkness of the past and driven by the exciting pull of finding things out. It all started in 1795, when young Daniel McGuinness found an oak tree with strange marks and a curious hole at its bottom. With the curiosity of youth and the hope of lots of money, he and his friends started to dig, finding old logs and suggesting there might be more below. So, the story of the money pit began, a deep hole promising hidden jewels or lots of wealth. 200 years later, the brave Lagina brothers, attracted by stories of treasure and adventure, arrived on Oak Island. Close to where McGuinness used to live, they found a fancy brooch, making people wonder if it was linked to the famous treasure hunter. Was it a relic of his search? A forgotten hint from the past? Even deeper down, under layers of dirt and history, there's a stone with strange symbols, a puzzle from long ago. It says, 40 feet under, 2 million pounds are buried, but no one knows what it means, despite many attempts to figure it out. Among the things found, there are coconut fibers deep in the money pit that no one can explain. How did they end up there, so far from their tropical home? Some think they were used to make ropes and tools for people hoping to get rich by digging. And then there are the swatches, old iron tools found by the Laginas. They're from the 14th century and suggest people were mining on the island long ago, showing its history of exploration and use. Other things found are bone bits that tell a sad story of lives lost in the treasure hunt. Found in a hole called H8 in the money pit area, these bones initially seemed human, but tests showed they came from two different places, one from Europe, the other from the Middle East. It's a sad reminder of a tragic past on the island. Near these sad things, there's a piece of chain with bone pieces, suggesting something even more terrible happened. Legend says enslaved people were tied up and buried alive, their ghostly shapes lingering to keep people away and protect the hidden treasure. It's a scary reminder of the cost of chasing riches, but among the darkness, there are bits of excitement. Deep in the ground, the Oak Island Treasure Company found a piece of paper stuck in a hard layer with secrets that seemed close to being revealed. Some think it might be part of Shakespeare's lost writings, hidden by Francis Bacon, a friend of the famous writer and a lover of secrets. Years later, the Laginas found more pieces, a book with tales and truths waiting to be discovered. Could these be more of Shakespeare's missing works scattered around Oak Island? Not all exciting finds turn out to be real. In 2015, a fisherman caught something that briefly made people think history would change. a Roman sword pulled from the waters near Oak Island, but it wasn't as exciting as it seemed. The sword was just a good copy, made recently as a tribute to ancient times, showing how Oak Island's stories still capture people's imaginations. Oak Island shares its history with each new find, attracting people looking for treasure and truth. Even though the famous stash might still be hidden, the promise of finding it keeps the mystery alive for those brave enough to keep searching. The legend of the treasure. The Lagina brothers are still on a daring journey in a world where stories mix with what's real. Are they stuck in a tricky situation? Come along with them and their team of experts as they follow rumors of hidden wealth. The Lagina brothers are two brave people on a big journey. They want to find a very old treasure. They've spent lots of time, money, and energy looking for it. They use modern technology and never give up. But they're not alone. They have a team of smart people helping them. These people know a lot about things like old stuff, rocks, history, and building things. Together, they're a strong team looking for exciting things. They've found amazing stuff, old coins telling stories, buttons from old wars, and pieces of old pots from lost cities. They've also found bones from people who lived a long time ago and a beautiful pin with a big red gem from the past. But even with all they've found, they still need to find the treasure. It's like it's playing hide and seek with them. Sometimes they wonder if the treasure was ever real or just a made-up story. They keep going, hoping they'll find it one day. Missing facts in the excavation. Come along as we explore the search and untangle the complicated story of mystery, gossip, and the always hard-to-find reality of Hoax Island. The story of Oak Island, often called Hoax Island because of its unclear past, is an interesting mix of mystery and doubt. While people have talked about hidden treasures for a long time, there needs to be solid proof. It was in the early 1860s that the first known digging happened, led by local kids and a company called Enlo. But stories about earlier or later digs are mostly rumors, passed down through time by people who say they were involved. A big part of the mystery is a stone with writing that supposedly got dug up in the 1800s and buried 90 feet deep. Some think this stone has important hints about where the treasure is, but there are doubts about whether it's real or important. The stone didn't appear in official records until 1862 and wasn't mentioned in the detailed 1893 investment prospectus from the Oak Island Treasure Company. Strangely, people have yet to draw or take a picture of the stone's writing. Instead, there needs to be a more credible drawing from 1949 based on an iffy translation. Also, people say the island is cursed and that the curse affects both the land and the people searching for the treasure. But Christina Downs, PhD, who edits the Journal of Folklore Research at Indiana University, says we should doubt these claims. She points out that stories about curses and secret codes often cover up unproven stories, making them seem more mysterious even though there's little proof. The truth of Oak Island, beyond mystery and myth. When someone finally questions the hidden treasure, who better than the famous Joe Rogan? Come along on the journey where science meets legend and explore the hidden history of Oak Island's past. Joe Rogan also questioned the truth about the treasure that was said to be hidden on Oak Island. Despite 10 seasons of intense searching and millions of dollars spent by the Lagina brothers, who own a big part of the island and are in a reality TV show showing their search, they have not found anything definite. Rogan has thought about how it's possible that no clear proof has been found with all the resources and time used. Since it started on January 6, 2014, on the History Channel, people have been interested in the twists and turns of this exciting story. Now, in its 11th season, which started on November 7, 2023, the excitement continues to grow as the team faces new problems and finds more secrets buried under the island's surface. Join the adventure and discover the mystery of Oak Island with these brave explorers. Rogan has suggested that perhaps the treasure is only a story, a trick, or a wild search. However, the mystery of Oak Island still interests many. Extensive research by historian Joy A. Steele and retired marine geologist Gordon Fader sheds light on a less-known part of the island's history. According to what they found, in 1720, the British Crown allowed private companies and the British military to do different business activities on Oak Island to lessen debt. These activities included making pine tar, making brass, and drawing wire. Fader says this effort was the biggest business growth in Canada then, mentioning many good things about Oak Island's place, like being near fresh water, being safe, and having enough space for ships. Steele and Fader say that the famous Money Pit was not a treasured place, but a natural thing that the British changed into a pine tar oven to make tar and pitch for their ships. They say that the layers of wood, charcoal, and putty in the pit match what would be seen in an old tar oven. Also, Fader thinks that the U-shaped thing found buried in Smith's Cove was likely a place to store pine tar barrels. He talks about how important pine tar was for ships at that time, comparing it to oil today. Also, the island's geological features make this idea possible. Fader explains that the island's bedrock can be broken down by the sea and water table, making underground cracks and caves. He made a map of the underground stuff along the coast of Nova Scotia when he was a marine geologist for the Canadian government, finding many holes in the area, including at least 2 on Oak Island, and many more on the nearby land. Stephen Aitken, a geoscientist who knows much about the Oak Island area, agrees with Fader. Aitken thinks that the Money Pit might be a hole made by the breaking down of bedrock below that side of the island, showing that the supposed filling of the pit, often thought to be proof of a trap, is a natural thing from fresh water coming from the island's sands underground. Aitken says that, even if these findings make the idea of a hidden treasure less exciting, they give a logical explanation based on science. Even if there's no classic treasure, Oak Island's history and geology still interest scholars and fans, showing a rich story of exploration and discovery. Charles Barkhouse. Explore the secrets of Oak Island with Charles Barkhouse as he faces the chance that the ultimate treasure could be a tricky trick. Come along on a trip where what's real mixes with stories, and every find raises more questions. Charles Barkhouse is a very experienced historian and treasure hunter who has been deeply involved in the mysterious search for Oak Island's secrets for over 2 decades. He's a person who sees beyond the cover of reason, understanding that things that are complicated and simple can exist together. On Oak Island, where the Earth's natural changes have seemingly worked together to bury treasure deeper, Barkhouse finds himself pulled deeper into the puzzle. The proof found on the island shows a picture of a treasure so amazing that it has attracted the attention of many groups over hundreds of years. For Barkhouse, Oak Island isn't just a piece of land. It's a walk through the records of history itself. Every step taken is a step through time. Each old object is a clue leading to a bigger truth, but finding that truth proves tricky. Oak Island goes against having one clear answer. Its attraction is in its many sides, and its ability to mix myth and reality, leaving searchers like Barkhouse always intrigued. The treasures discussed, the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or a pirate's stash, are like calls, tempting explorers to dig deeper into the island's depths. Yet, despite all the excitement and effort, the search may never end. As Barkhouse knows, looking for wealth can take over a person. Yet, despite hard work and uncertainty, something goes beyond logic. A treasure seeker from 1862 understood this well, the chance of unknown wealth being more important than the tough times endured. But what if the treasure is just a trick, something imagined? Barkhouse thinks about the chance of Oak Island being the biggest joke in history. Many diggers, driven by the hope of wealth, only find soil and disappointment. Ultimately, Oak Island remains a puzzle, a mystery covered in layers of soil and guessing. And for Charles Barkhouse, the journey keeps going, driven by an interest that won't go away, even with uncertainty. What are your thoughts on Joe Rogan's claims? Share your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting videos. See you there.